Most of the information out there on reincarnation is garbage, but did you know that reincarnation can actually be explained logically and rationally? I mean, right now, if you try and find any information on reincarnation, it's going to be about karma, faith, mysticism, or just completely vague concepts. In other words, it's a load of trash. But the truth is that reincarnation is real, and it has a completely logical explanation. It doesn't have anything to do with karma or faith or anything like that. So, if reincarnation is real, how does it work? Can you remember your past lives? How many times have you reincarnated? And I'm going to answer all these questions logically and rationally right now. If you're new here, my name is Morgue, and we are a revolution of consciousness here to show humanity how to understand themselves and existence rationally, without the mainstream religious lies. So, join our war of the mind and help us wake up the world by subscribing right now and hit the bell so that you know when there's something new. Before we can understand reincarnation, we have to understand what existence is and what you are, because it's all tied together. The thing to understand is that this is not a physical reality of matter. This is a mathematical reality of mind. And of course, that applies to you too. You aren't physical at all. What you truly are is an eternal mathematical mind. Now, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, make sure you check them out because I explain how this is possible in detail. The Greek philosopher Pythagoras knew that this was a mathematical reality. He said, "All is number, and number rules the universe." In addition to knowing that this is a mathematical reality, Pythagoras also believed in reincarnation. And the reason why that I'm bringing this up at all is because the link between mathematics and reincarnation is critical. You need to understand that what you truly are isn't physical, but mathematical. And this is what's going to tie everything together. Your physical body, it's just an avatar. It's a contingent vehicle. As an eternal mind, you are a necessary system of evolving mathematical energy patterns. You could call this a soul. But remember, it doesn't have anything to do with the creator God, faith, or mysticism, or anything like that. You as a soul, as an eternal mind, are a system of mathematical frequency patterns, a system of living eternal thought. So, what does a soul, an eternal mind, a system of mathematical frequency patterns do? Well, it seeks to optimize itself. It continuously seeks to rearrange its internal mathematical patterns into more and more optimal patterns, more symmetrical patterns. In other words, it's evolving. You can think of it like a scrambled Rubik's Cube that's trying to solve itself. You are an eternal mind that's constantly seeking to evolve, to find the best possible pattern. But how do you do that? Well, you need to incarnate into a physical avatar. You see, when you have a body, you can now use the so-called material world as a medium in which to learn and grow. Through your interactions with others and the world, you begin to explore, understand, and experience. You acquire knowledge. And as you learn and understand in the material world, this contributes to your growth and evolution as an eternal mind. Now, the critical thing to understand about all of this is that reincarnation is all about evolution and growth. And the physical world is your training ground to evolve. It's not about being a good person or about karma or about pleasing a god in the sky or anything like that. It's a completely rational process of mathematical mental evolution. Karma is actually a very dangerous concept because there are a lot of people out there that use it to justify horrible atrocities. For example, some people will say that, let's say if a woman is killed, well, she must have been bad in her past life, so she had it coming. I'm sure you can see why that this is a very horrible way of thinking. Reincarnation isn't about karma. It's about evolution. Now, the reason why this is so important to understand is because there are so many New Age systems and Eastern religions out there that will tell you that to escape reincarnation, you need to detach or eliminate the self. And this is the worst thing you can do because reincarnation is about actualizing yourself, creating yourself, manifesting yourself, not about trying to eliminate yourself. You see, existence, it's like a video game. And the goal is to beat the various levels and advance in the game. Trying to detach is like not engaging with the game at all. And what happens? Well, that means you're just going to sit at and stay at level 1 forever and never move forward. The goal of existence is about reaching the highest level of the game, which means you, as a mathematical mind, unlocking your divine solution. In actuality, you will continue to incarnate in an unconscious process until you reach such a high level of mental evolution that you no longer need a physical body and you can choose to incarnate if you so will. If instead of learning and self-actualizing, you attempt to detach and self-negate, you're just going to keep incarnating again and again without making any progress. So this is why when people ask me how many times they need to incarnate, well, my answer is it's not about quantity at all. It's about quality. Imagine someone that sits around and watches Netflix all day versus someone that uses their time to explore their world, create art, study philosophy, and self-actualize. Well, the person that doesn't do anything at all but binge watch TV isn't evolving at all, while the person dedicated to self-actualizing will be evolving at light speed in comparison. This is why the information that we put out is so important, because we're dedicated to increasing the collective evolution of humanity. And the information that we provide will accelerate your mental evolution and bring you to a state that may have taken thousands of lifetimes to reach otherwise. You see, it's not about how many lives you've lived, it's about what you spend your time doing during your lives. In fact, when you come across our material, it's very likely that it'll almost feel like you're uncovering something rather than learning something, that you're remembering something that you've forgotten. Plato, who was a student of Pythagoras, said, "The choice of souls was in most cases based on their own experience of a previous life. Knowledge easily acquired is that which the enduring self had in an earlier life, so that it flows back easily." Those that connect with and understand our material may do so because they've understood similar truths in a past life. Knowledge acquired in a previous life can flow back easily. But remember, you didn't begin incarnating as a human right away. You've been on this dialectical journey through many incarnations. On that note, a lot of people ask me if animals have eternal minds associated with them as well. And the answer is yes, absolutely. You see, every single one of us is an eternal mind. That means all the organisms around you, from plants to animals, have an eternal mind linked to it that's evolving, just like you. When your avatar dies, you as an eternal mind will continue to exist, and you'll link to a new avatar through physical birth to continue to evolve and grow. So the more complex you are as an eternal mind, the more complex of a body you'll be able to link to. Now this means that you've gone through many incarnations. You started out by linking to a very basic organism. Then, through exploring and learning in the world around you, this caused your evolution, which allowed you to connect to a more complex organism. You've gone up the ladder, the great chain of being, through countless different bodies and animals until now you finally acquired the complexity to incarnate as a human. You might be wondering why you don't remember your past lives. Well, that's because in the very early stages of evolution, everything is simply an unconscious fight for survival. You can't do much growing if you're dead. So in the beginning of this universal cycle, evolution will select for bodily avatars that filter out all unnecessary information, including memories, in order for you to be completely focused on the material world that's in front of you. Well, you might be thinking, why is that? Well, really think about it. If you're an organism on Earth in the early stages of evolution, but you're busy contemplating what an electron is doing on the other side of the universe, well, another organism, a predator that's focused on what's right in front of it, is going to eat you. So because of this, the brain and nervous system, they've evolved to filter out all information that's not necessary for your survival in your current body. But that doesn't mean that your memories are gone, that they're lost. They're stored as mathematical information within your mind. And just because you can't consciously recall it right now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't contribute to who you are. Think about all the events in your current life, everything that's happened to you that you've forgotten about. Well, even though you've forgotten them, they still contribute to who you are. In the early stages of evolution, everything is a fight for survival. Minds start off in an unconscious state, and they're in fierce competition with each other. It's not until later that they begin to evolve self-consciousness, self-awareness, and cooperation. You've been through countless lives and have literally fought tooth and nail throughout time to finally reach the level of human. But you have the potential to become so much more. You, as an evolving mathematical mind, have the ability to unlock your divine solution and become an individual God. And together, as a mental collective, we have the power to become God. This so-called physical world was generated by us as a mental collective unity at the moment of the Big Bang to serve as our training ground to evolve and become all-powerful and fully expressed. It's how we experience existence as a multiplicity. Now look around you right now at all the disunity, disharmony, and disorganization. Just as we evolve individually, so do we evolve as a collective. And right now, the collective is extremely unevolved and fighting amongst itself instead of acting in harmony and cooperation. I mean, not much has changed from the early stages of evolution. Predators still exist, but in the form of the ritually rulers, and they want to do everything to keep you from evolving because they fear your power. Now, this world is utterly backwards. I mean, look around you. Who rules the world? The most compassionate? The most intelligent? The most meritable? No, it's the predators that rule. Those that can lie, cheat, manipulate, and con are the ones that get to the top. The last thing that they want you to do is to wake up to what you are, because we have the power to change everything. Always remember that reincarnation is about evolution. Why? Because this is a mathematical reality, and you are a mathematical mind seeking its divine solution, the most optimal pattern. This is the only possible answer to existence. Only mathematical mind, logic, and reason explains reality. Faith, mysticism, karma, and anything else can never explain what reality truly is. So what is reincarnation? It's simply a means for you as a mathematical mind to evolve and grow. You are an evolving system of energy seeking its divine solution to become God. All the New Age systems and Eastern religions that teach detachment, escape, and self-negation are actually putting a barrier between you and your divinity. Some systems even go so far as to say that not thinking is the highest form of knowledge. How crazy can you get? This is literally a reality of thought. Not thinking is anti-knowledge. Life is about evolving. It's about becoming God, not trying to escape existence. Escaping existence is impossible, and you'll just keep reincarnating without any progress if you refuse to evolve. The ironic thing about these religions is that their teachings to escape reincarnation are the very thing that will keep you tied to the physical world. Life it's like a race, and you'll never beat the race, you'll never reach the finish line if you refuse to run. You'll just stand at the starting line forever. So who are you? Are you someone that wants to escape and self-negate, which is an impossibility and a delusion? Or are you someone that's going to play the game of life and become God? We are those that have understood what life, mind, and all existence truly is. We are the gods on earth. And we don't seek to simply evolve individually, but to evolve collectively and create a society of the divine. If you're new here, there are a lot more videos on my channel about existence and reincarnation, so check them out. Like and share this video, and join our War of the Mind by subscribing right now. And a big shout out to all my supporters on Patreon who make my work possible. Consider supporting on Patreon and get access to our secret weekly live streams. My name is Morgue, and I am Hyperion. Ad Astra. To the stars.